Capilano River Regional Park is a tinderbox waiting to ignite.
If a large fire would travel through Capilano Park here, you wouldn't recognize it afterwards. When it's in extreme fire danger, the fire jumps up into the trees, and at that point you can't actually contain a fire typically. It would just run up the valley here, and we would have an entirely new landscape, and it would be a tragedy, obviously. This is a gorgeous park, and we'd rather have it green.
The regional park's average fire rating was at extreme in July, a rating that's since been downgraded to high.
It's an unprecedented year in terms of timing with the extreme fire danger rating. We're finding ourselves a month or two in advance of where we would typically be at this time of year.
Given the forecast as it stands, we don't see much change in sight. In my years with Metro and before that the Forest Service, this is unprecedented. So in terms of all of our readings and our indices, it's an unprecedented season that we're having.
The extreme conditions in spring and summer of 2015 are providing a challenge for Metro Vancouver Regional Park staff and the people who protect the region's watersheds. The fire risk rating in regional parks is determined by the weather.
That's through our fire weather stations throughout the region, in the mountain watersheds, in the regional parks, and at some of our air quality monitoring stations. And those are collecting the weather information, which allows us to determine what fire danger rating we're in based on precipitation, temperature, and relative humidity.
AS9 coastal.
Watershed protection staff and Metro Vancouver Regional Park staff also regularly liaise with local and provincial fire authorities.
We're working with the Provincial Wildfire Management Branch. All of the municipal fire departments are involved in our data collection and dissemination, and regional parks and the Metro Vancouver Watershed Group as well.
The extremely dry conditions are obvious, from brown grass to dead huckleberry bushes, river rocks that would normally be underwater, and picnic areas that are now completely off limits to any source of open flame.
We need to be really rigorous with patrolling and looking for known party spots, and we change our operation completely. A lot of the work that we do has to cease. We cease any kind of dangerous activity like using chainsaws or any kind of machinery in the forest that would be a concern that could cause a spark. Afternoons are almost completely just dedicated to fire patrols throughout the park, and we know what the spots are where people tend to smoke or the kids party and so on, and make sure those are checked.
Staff in the Watershed Protection Department of Metro Vancouver assess the risk of fire on a continual basis and respond accordingly.
Right now, we've got 3 branches set up with our crews. We've got a prevention branch, a patrol branch, and a response branch. So each group sort of covers various different things. Response covers sort of initial attack, and if we get a fire incident, those are the active crews that we would deploy.
This is going to be the equipment you're going to be arriving on scene with, as well as your personal packs and a fuel canister.
The Watershed Protection Branch also trains regional park staff on how to be effective first responders in the event of a fire. It's an advantage that most regional parks are in areas where a fire can be spotted early by park users or air traffic flying overhead.
Really, we depend on our public to report. There are eyes and ears out there. Our public are really helpful when it comes to any of these types of emergencies. I hope we build on the communication that's developed among our group and our public, as well as our fire departments. It's been improving every year. It's really good.
Municipal fire departments can respond quickly in urban settings where most regional parks are located, while watershed protection crews can respond to fires in more remote areas. Metro Vancouver's regional parks are beautiful places where the public can connect with nature and reap the health benefits that come from being outdoors. But when conditions are unseasonably hot and dry, these important ecosystems and the public who use them must be protected. For the latest information on park closures and restrictions, go to metrovancouver.org and search Parks Fire Danger.